For more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by our international affairs editor, Angela Diffley. Angela, it's good to have you in the studio with us. The first round of talks last week resulted in this current ceasefire, even though, of course, both sides accuse each other of violations. What should we expect from today's talks?
Well, the Lebanese have let it be known that they intend to ask for a 1-month extension of the ceasefire. It's due to expire on Sunday. And they also will be pushing for a halt to Israel's destruction of large parts of southern Lebanon. Then after that, Israel, if Trump leans on them to agree to the ceasefire, and he is likely to, then Israel will agree to the ceasefire, even though many in northern Israel feel it's too early. They feel that they don't feel their security has been properly guaranteed, as Netanyahu assured them it would be. Netanyahu will abide by what Donald Trump wants, and it looks like Donald Trump would push for this ceasefire to be extended. Thereafter, the Lebanese would like more substantive talks and talks at a higher level. This is the two ambassadors, the Israeli ambassador to the US and the Lebanese ambassador to the US. They would like talks then to move up a level and to talk about territorial integrity. Basically, where is Lebanon? Where is Lebanon ending and Israel beginning? What is this buffer zone? Because, of course, Israel has a self-declared buffer zone. It has destroyed a lot of villages in southern Lebanon, which it says are Hezbollah strongholds. And it says we need that to ensure the security of our people in northern Lebanon. They had to evacuate their villages before the end of the previous war between Israel and Lebanon after October the 7th. It shouldn't be for our people to evacuate so that we can ensure their safety. We intend to make sure that southern Lebanon is free of Hezbollah so that we can guarantee the safety of our people. That, of course, means the forced displacement of huge numbers of people, over 1 million people in southern Lebanon. So this idea of the buffer zone is then where the discussions will really get difficult if at a later date they have further talks. It should be said Israel has occupied this part of Lebanon before, when the Palestine Liberation Organization sort of set up shop there between 1982 and 2000. Israel was there. It's costly. It is untenable. It doesn't always deliver results. That said, Israel would say we pulled out and the rocket fire continued on our communities in the north. So at least step by step, if there is some progress, then that is to be welcomed. What this is really about is whether Hezbollah has lost enough significant support amongst the Shia population, where traditionally it has a support base, whether they have tired of Hezbollah dragging them into wars or not, and whether after that Beirut explosion, the port explosion back in 2020, I think our listeners might remember, Hezbollah obstructed the investigation after that. They did lose a lot of support. It was felt that they were behind it and they were obstructing the investigation. They lost a lot of support there. So it really comes down to that. It is noticeable that Hezbollah MP has said today he wants a further ceasefire, because Hezbollah is not only a militia, it is also, of course, has a political wing.
And meanwhile, Angela, the mandate for UNIFIL, which is the UN's peacekeeping force in Lebanon, that mandate runs out at the end of December. What happens then?
Yeah, the United Nations are hoping to get some sort of extension under a new form. They will be recommending, they say, they've been speaking today and say that they will make recommendations to the UN Security Council in June. It will certainly be a smaller force. Behind this is the fact that the United Nations has so little money. 25% of the funding for UNIFIL comes from the United States. It is not going to be forthcoming from the United States, so they will have to adapt to reduced circumstances, reduced funding. Other countries might step in. The Israelis maintain that UNIFIL has not been very effective. It is a peacekeeping force. It has no mandate to exert force, only to reply if it is attacked. And its job is to monitor the ceasefire, because this has been a recurrent situation in southern Lebanon, to monitor the ceasefire and to try to help the Lebanese army disarming Hezbollah. Now, clearly neither of those things have happened yet. It is always difficult for United Nations forces. They are peacekeeping forces. They are not peacemakers. They can only enforce if the will is already there. We should remember 2 French peacekeepers in that UNIFIL force have been killed just this week. France is a significant part of that. There's 47 nations in UN peacekeeping forces, and France has been a significant member of the one in Lebanon.
Angela Diffley, thank you very much.